guys, and welcome back to round number 4. We are going to go straight into it, and it looks like we have another 2 brand new leaders that have not been on the channel as of yet. It is Zorro taking on Law, red versus multicolor red-green. And Ryan, in your professional expertise, what are we expecting here, and who do you think is going to take it out?
I do think Zoro has a bit more of an advantage over Law, but it does come down to the kind of opening hand of Law as well. If Law's able to establish that board in the first kind of 2 or 3 turns, then they can really start cycling through, getting some of their stronger cards out and building up a bit of a hand size. But yeah, if Zoro's able to start putting pressure on really early and get Law down low, then they can very quickly take over the game.
It is going to be interesting.
We've seen yeah, I was just going to say, we've seen in a number of events, like a good Law player can definitely take this deck through the rounds, but you are kind of hindered by the amount of 1-drops that you see.
And it is going to be interesting here because both players want to kind of go wide here, right? Like, you know, Gian wants to obviously set up as quickly as possible and play 5 cards on the board to enable his leader ability. And Samuel with Zorro being able to buff everything by 1k with the Don underneath wants to kind of almost do the same and make sure that, you know, he has those bodies on the board to continue to be aggressive. So going to be interesting here. Looks like Jian is going to be first, plays the Jewelry Bonnie, a very stock standard turn 1 play, and you're probably happy with that if you're Law right now. And going to see what kind of Zorro variant Samuel runs. It is going to be the Gordon, double Gordon on turn 1. Yeah, so getting ready to neg.
Yeah, not really going to provide a whole lot of value in terms of kind of board removal for the earlier turns. But once we start seeing some of the 5-drops get cycled in off the Law, then it does give that opening to kind of Gordon and Vista to remove some of these threats. And wow, just 3 for a Zorro. So really didn't have any kind of other 1-drop to play and go wider with, because you don't want to attack with this Zorro early on. You want to go as wide as possible and not give any kind of opening for your opponent to attack into your battle cards.
Well, saying that, Ryan, he did actually have the Nami in hand, the Searcher. I'm a bit shocked that he actually opted to play it and he went for the Zorro and not swinging with it. Obviously, wants to make sure that it's going to stay another turn and put the aggression on. But being able to buff out the Gordon now, being able to swing for 5, and he didn't actually put the 1 Don underneath his leader. He could have buffed it another K. Gian ended up taking that anyway. But now being able to swing again, Gordon 5. Had to blow out of that one, and the aggression is kind of interesting here. Samuel deciding to leave 2 Don open instead of putting 1 under and putting the pressure on, but he's obviously got a plan, and it shows that he's going to tap 2 now, and it's just going to be a curly.
Yep, announcing that he's going to be searching the top 5.
Going to find his own Nami Searcher.
And yeah, and just got a lot of characters on the field that can comfortably swing 5k for very little Don investment. He can put a lot of pressure on the following turn here as well if Law doesn't find an answer to try and deal with this board.
Absolutely, and the funny thing is, the board state that Zorro had is what Gian strives to have. You know, Samuel ended up with 5 bodies on the board, all putting in their own respective work, and bringing Gian down to 2 life already. But now going to be interesting to see how he's going to play this.
Yeah, just spamming the 1 cost out onto the field here. Being able to activate his leader effect, bounce the Makano back to play the Law. Probably see Law bounce back the Nami, and being able to play a Robin. So a lot of value on the Robin on the following turn if he's able to comfortably keep this board state as it is. And Samuel's going to continue to put pressure on the lead here. Already dealt 2 damage. But a good turnaround from Gian to be able to stabilize, get the board state that he wants. He's got two blockers available. He's got Robin that can do a bit of cleanup. Zorro there is something that you kind of want to keep your eye on. You don't want to allow that to live through another turn, so that will eat up another attack. And you've got a Bonnie to continue to search as well.
Mm.
So what looked like a lot of early aggression from Samuel, Jian was able to stabilize a little bit more here. You'll see a 6k attack come in, eat up a 2k.
Mm.
Jian's hand is very low, so he's going to want to start cycling the following turn with those Bonnies and Namis.
Being able to
Law
obviously,
takes the 5k attack.
yeah, exactly what I was about to say. You know, being able to kind of mitigate one 5k swing. Not upset about that at all.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a 6k swing into the Zorro here.
This player's hand's not looking really healthy here. It looks like Samuel does have about 4 cards.
Yeah, he has played a lot out onto the field.
Yeah. Jian has about 1.
I think he's got a couple in hand, maybe about 3.
Or Jian?
Yeah. Looks like it might be 2 after the Brook counter.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he does. Both players with a very healthy board. Hand size very similar now.
Yep. And we're going to see the value of the Robin on the following turn for Gian, just to being able to clear some of these low-cost attackers.
Mm.
We could see Gian focus solely on the board and continue to establish some of his blockers. And did a very good job at mitigating a lot of that damage that turn. He was able to keep both of his blockers alive. Robin lived through the turn, and he didn't take any life.
Yeah.
So now he's got the ability to search, start replenishing his hand, and wipe this board of Samuel, leaving him with just 3 or 4 cards in hand.
Finding
Looks
a
like he
law
found
off
another
the
law.
top.
Yeah, that's going to be very good. And you can use the Robin here to clear the Nami that's in active mode, because everything else can be attacked into quite comfortably.
Yep. And now it's time to clean the board up.
Yeah, chopper swing into the Markano.
Yeah.
You really want to get Markano off the
Yeah, exactly. And he'll be able to bounce the chopper if he needs be.
Yep. Plays the Kelly, doing the top 5. Look like that's the Markano. Yep. And now he's able to use his effect, bounce back the chopper, play the law, Bonnie to come back. And then, chopper coming back out onto the field. So really kind of limiting the resources of the Zorro. He does still have 4 life, but Jian's setting up comfortably to be able to continue to cycle through his cards and start adding some cards to hand with the combination of the Nami and the Bonnie.
Yep. And getting rid of Zorro's board, you're pretty happy with this, right? Like, it thrives off having bodies on the board, you know, the Don underneath the leader and being able to swing for an extra 1k on everything. But being able to kind of wipe that and have your five bodies still on the board, you're definitely happy with that.
For sure, you've got 1-drops in hand to be able to get back to that 5 if some of them are removed also. But Zorro just doesn't run as many rush as what it once used to as well.
Yeah.
Kind of focusing around just the rush Luffy and the rush Zorro. You know, no one's really running Shanks or the Sanji anymore. So that does kind of limit the amount of attacks that Zorro can put in this turn. It's more just about setting up for the following turn.
Yeah, wow. Plays a Nico Robin as well, the curly. And now
Hmm.
Gian, if he's got a one drop in hand, he's back live again with his leader ability, and he definitely does.
Yeah, yeah, and we see the value that Robin gives into this matchup as well from both sides. If Samuel was able to see that earlier on, then he would have been able to comfortably remove some of these cards. Is that another law? X Drake finds the X Drake off the Bonnie,
Yeah.
and we could see some kind of Robin attack. Okay, looks like he's going to be attacking into life this turn. We see the Don go under the law just in case there's any jet pistol triggers.
Yep.
So very comfortable with his sequencing.
And now it's time to kind of start dwindling down the Zorro, making sure that he's obviously going to be able to either take cards out of the hand or be able to bring him down to a more lethal point, sitting at 4 life. Not really a comfortable spot for Jian.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And here's where you can start forcing that damage or leaving Zoro with very little cards in hand. And you're not too concerned about the Robin at this point. You've gotten a lot of value for your one drops now. A lot of them have been
Absolutely.
bounced back. So if Robin wants to continue to kind of try and pop the Bonnie or something, you're comfortable with that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Leaves one blocker up, establishes the X Drake, and again, Zoro's in a bit of the same position as they were last turn. You've got a limit of 2 attacks unless you've got some kind of rush in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
but Law still has a comfortable hand size again, so it's going to be very difficult to push damage through.
The difference is now Samuel's just taken 2 life as well, and Gian's pretty
Hmm.
much kept the exact same spot that he was in the previous turn. 5 bodies on the board, 2 blockers on field, both of them that can actually stop a 5k swing. And yeah, you're not really too upset right now if you're Gian.
Mm. Yeah, Gian decided to attack with the first Trafalgar Law, so that does remove his only block left available.
Yeah, it's tapped. Yep.
But that's still a 4 Don investment just to remove the other blocker. You're comfortable with that because it does limit the amount of cards that he can now play and or buff up the cards that he's got on the field already. So without any kind of combination of a rush card in hand, there is no threat of lethal at this point.
Yeah.
So, but it does look like Sammy's going to try and clear up the field a little bit more.
Which makes sense, right? Like now, the whole point of Gian is that he wants to have those 5 bodies on the board. Now he's only going to be able to have 2, and
Yeah, Brook to give the Don. We'll probably see this into the law here.
being able to swing
AK.
into the law. Yeah.
Yeah. John did a very good job at keeping his board alive for the past few turns, but here Samuel was able to comfortably remove a lot of the little threats just to prevent a lot of 6k swings coming in.
He does have so Gian, from
And
what I
again, Rob.
Sunny Kun, and also a Nami Searcher. Oh wow, and a Jewelry Bonnie. So if he plays all 3 for such little investment, he's back to where he wants to be. And he finds another law.
Finding the law.
Far out.
Yeah, and that's the Jewelry Bonnie that we saw get bounced back as well. So
Yeah.
it's just showing just how much value you can get. We'll clear up the Robin. And Jian's done a great job of just staying at the 2 life for what has been about 3 turns now.
Yeah.
After that early aggression from Samuel, he was able to just comfortably clear the board.
Or hard choice there. He had the rush Zorro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's just
And
focusing on continuing to keep the control. He's not in any kind of rush. Oh, 8-drop Kid also.
yeah, running the 8-drop Kid in the deck.
Looks like we're going to see some kind of attack into the leader here. We see it again, the Don moving around a little bit.
Again, swings with the blocker. Bounces back to Curly's. Going to play another law. Yeah. And now Gian opting to pass again. Another 5 bodies on the board. A few cards still left in hand. Still sitting pretty comfortable at this position.
Yeah, and you force the Zorro to go down to 1 also.
And now it looks like that Samuel wants to kind of start putting a little bit more pressure on. Plays out the rush Zorro. Oh, he's grabbed it from the Nami search, sorry. And he's just thinking about what he wants to do here then.
Really trying to remove the law here.
Yeah.
And Jian knows that there's just not enough Don available to really kill him this turn, so opts to protect the law. If you want to commit some more Don to try and remove it, it's going to be quite a heavy cost, and looks to be a 6k swing here. Very easy counter out, and then at best you've got Anami on the field, which is not going to really provide you much value.
I mean, obviously, we all know that he had the rush Zorro in hand. It's going to have a 6k swing now into the rested blocker.
Another 2k here would just be punishing.
Oh, not even. Jewelry Bonnie for 1.
Oh, it's 6, yeah. Yep.
And now he's just going to be able to top deck and see what he can find here. But yeah, leaving himself with 1 card now. Gian going to make do with the cards that he has on field.
Yeah, I think Gian just knows that he's able to put a lot of pressure into the lead at this point.
Just cleaning the board instead. Yeah, just separating his Don.
Yeah.
Going to now be able to start pressuring Samuel. And even if he doesn't win on this turn, he's still in a very, very comfortable position knowing that Samuel has got 2 or 3 cards in hand, no presence on the board, and you've still got a law blocker, and he just says, yeah, look, there's nothing I can really do here. And Gian is going to take that one. Law going 4-0.
Yeah, a bit of a back and forth there once the Robins were able to be established as well. But Gian was just very comfortable in maintaining his board and just being able to control the pace of the game and get a lot more value for his cards than Samuel was.
You can just tell the way that Gian played, it was just very calculated, very smooth, very straightforward. Obviously knows the Zorro matchup very well, decided to take care of his board when he needed to. And he knew exactly when to kind of swing for life, when to swing for the bodies on the board, and how to control this. So very nice win, very nice pickup for Gian, going 4-0 now. I believe there's still another 4 to 5 rounds for today, and then top cut will be for tomorrow. Guys, we still have another 15 or so minutes in this round, but we are actually going on a lunch break after this one for the players. It will be roughly about an hour until we get back into round number 5, but hopefully you guys are enjoying. Make sure you follow just to be notified whenever we do go live with further events. But guys, we will be going to a lunch break itself, back to the intermission screen, and hopefully we'll see you guys when we get back.